Hello students, myself Mr. Harish Sadashiv. I am your subject teacher for the subject Cryptography and Network Security. In our previous session, we have seen data encryption standard, that is DES algorithm, which is based on the Fischl cipher structure. It is a block cipher algorithm so that it uses 64-bit blocks as input and output. Means plain text and ciphertext both will be of 64-bit block size. It uses a key of 64-bit in the initial stages, but after some transformations, a 48-bit sub-key is generated, and that 48-bit sub-key will be used in all the rounds. It has total 16 rounds, and in each round it requires a separate sub-key of 48 bits. In the process of DES, we perform permutations and substitution. In permutation operation, the reordering of the data is performed using some predefined permutation tables, and in the substitution table we perform substitution of the data using S boxes. Here expansion or reduction of the data is performed using the S boxes. For this we use a X box which have input 8 bit and output 4 bit, and we require total 8 S boxes. After output of this S box will be proceed further, and we finally get the output ciphertext after 16 rounds. Okay, so this was the DES algorithm. Now in our today's session we'll going to start with the data encryption standard, that is block again, that is again a block cipher technique. Okay, so the learning objectives for the today's lecture are: student will be able to present an overview of the general structure of data encryption, advanced encryption standard. Second one is student will be able to understand the 4 transformation techniques used in AES. Last one is student will be able to explain the AES key expansion algorithm. So these are the learning objectives of the lecture. Now we start with the topic, that is advanced encryption standard. Okay, so in the advanced encryption standard or AES, as we know that it is a block cipher technique, so we use a block of 128 bit as input, and it produces the 128 bit output, that is ciphertext. Okay, also we use a key of 128 bits for the for this process, which is actually used in the terms of words. So we can say that we use the 4 words, we use the words as a key. Now as we know that the word size is actually 32 bits, so total 4 words are required for the one encryption key, or it is also known as sub keys. So we use 4 sub keys in each round. It has 16 rounds, so the sorry it has 10 rounds, so for each round we required 4 sub keys, means 128 bits means 4 words means 16 bytes for the encryption purpose. So we can calculate that for 10 rounds multiplied by 4 sub keys, so total 40 sub keys are used for 10 rounds. Also we required 4 sub keys for pre-additional round, means it is a pre-addition round in which we required 4 sub keys, so total 44 sub keys we are using in this technique. So size of each sub key will be 32 bit or 1 word or 4 bytes. Okay, and finally we generate the ciphertext of 128 bits again. Okay, so this is the advanced encryption standard. The overview of this is given here. So plain text block size will be 128 bit, number of rounds will be 10, number key size again it is 128 bit. Number of sub keys required 44, and sub key that is means bifurcation of that 44 is 4 into 10 round, that is 40, plus 4 sub keys for pre round calculation, or okay, so that is equal to 44. Sub key size again 32 bits or 1 word or 4 bytes, and ciphertext size is 128 bit, 4 words or 16 bytes. So this is the overview of the encryption AES. Okay, so let's start with the process. This is the block diagram of the AES. Okay, so it is started with the plain text of the 128 bit, which is applied as input to the pre-round transformation. Here in the pre-round transformation, the actually XOR operation is performed. Here 128 bit plain text is XORed with the first sub key, first 4 sub keys or round key, that is 128 bit key, that is K0. Output of this round will be applied to the next round, and output of the next round will be applied to the next round, and so on. So total 10 rounds we are using for the 128 bit key. Okay, the number of rounds are actually based on the size of key, or we can say that size of the key is required based on the number of rounds. If we are using 10 rounds, so 128 bit key will be used. If we are using 12 rounds, so 192 bits key will be used, and if we are using 14 rounds, then 256 bit will be used. So this is the relationship between the number of rounds and cipher key size. Okay, so this is the block diagram of the technique. Okay, we have now, after this we let us see the working of the each round. So what is the process of each round? So in each round we have actually 4 steps, that are sub bytes, shift row, mix column, and add round key. Okay, so let's start with the first round. Let us understand the technique. Okay, in before first round, the plain text is XORed with the cipher key, that is K0, in add round key. Okay, the output of add round key is applied to the sub byte as input. Okay, after that output of the sub byte is applied as input to shift row, and output of the shift row is applied to the mix column, and output of the mix column is applied to the again add round key, that is the next add round, in which we will use the key K1 or next 4 words or next 4 sub keys to perform the XOR operation. So this is the first round. Likewise, we have to perform 10 rounds, and after 10 rounds we will get the ciphertext. Okay, an important thing, that mix column round is used in only first 9 rounds. It will not get used in the last round, that is the 10th round. Okay, so working of the rounds. In pre-round, the sub key K0 is XORed with the plain text. Okay, sub key K0 means which has 4 words, that is 4 sub keys actually, word 0, word 1, word 2, and word 3, which is XORed with the plain text. Output of that will be applied to the next round. Okay, in first round we use K1, that with the 4 words, W4 to W7. In second round we use W8 to W11, and so on. Means in last round we will use the W40 to W43. Okay, so this is the use of key or sub keys. Okay, so total 44 sub key we are going to use. Now, as we have seen, mix column process will not be used, will be used only in 0 to 9 rounds. It will not use in the last round. Okay, so this is all. Now this is the overall structure of the AES standard process. Here we have total 10 rounds. Sorry, here 10 rounds. The 16 byte data is stored in the 16 byte plain text we are using, or we can say that 128 bit plain text is used here. That 16 bytes are first stored in the input states. After that we apply some operation, and after that that data will be stored in the initial state after the initial computation, that is also known as the intermediate state, and finally the data is stored in the output state. So we will see this in the later sites. Okay, here again we use the 4 into 4 box, that is matrix, to store the keys also. Okay, so here we are here is the overall structure of the AES standard. Okay, input, here we have total 4 things. First one is the input plain text, intermediate results, output stage, and key. So to store these all things we required 16 bytes or 128 bits block or state array, that is actually a matrix of 4 into 4. Okay, we can see here this is a 4 into 4 matrix that is used to store the 16 bytes or 128 bits. Means in each cell we are storing 8 bits in each cell of the matrix. Okay, and we have total 10 rounds. So the output of the output ciphertext will be generated after the 10 rounds. Okay, again same, this is the another diagram to understand the AES program process. Again we are using the plain text of 128 bits, that is applied to the add round key, and we use the W0 to W3 words and keys, sub keys applied here. After that the output is passed to the we are passing the output to the first round as a input. Then this output of the first round will be used as a input to the second round, and so on. So total 10 rounds are there, and after that we'll get 128 bit ciphertext. So again this process is there. This is another diagram. Okay, so after this we'll learn the states. As we have seen in this diagram, we have 4 state: input state, input plain text state, intermediate state, output state, and key. So these states we can easily understand here. Okay, initially input state. So here we have 4 by 4 matrix of input state, where in each blocks we are going to store 8 bits. Okay, so total 128 bits will be stored in the input state. Again total 128 bit will be stored in the state array, that is the actually first that is used to store the addition result of pre-addition round, that is state array. Okay, that is the after that the intermediate result round. So it will the state array for the intermediate rounds. Okay, and the output array. So each have the same size, that is 128 bits, means 16 bytes. Okay, so these are the states. Okay, now let's start with the first round, that is add round key. First process, that is add round key. Here what we are doing, we are using in the add round key, we are using the 4 words, that is W0, W1, W2, and W3. So in W1 means this first column will be used as a word, and the values of the word 0 will be K0, K1, K2, and K3. Similarly for the W1 the values will be K4, K5, K6, and K7, and so on. So this is the way to generate the words. And similarly we will generate expand this process from W0 to W43, means we will create a expansion table. Okay, so this is the add round key. So total keys or total sub keys required for the process, as we know that 44. So the first 4, that is W0 to W3, will be used for the pre-addition round, and remaining 40 keys from 4 to 43 will be used for the 10 rounds, remaining 10 rounds. Okay, So this is the add round key. Now okay, now the second step, in add round key, what we are actually doing, we are XORing our plain text with the key K0, means sub key K0, means our plain text of the 128 bit will be XORed with the 128 bit key, or we can say that 4 words sub keys. Okay, 4 sub keys. So that will generate the initial output that will be stored in the initial state. Okay, after that, this is the first this is the pre-round operation. Okay, after that, the first round, that will be the substitution round, or it is also known as the sub bytes or substitution byte round. In this process we use the S boxes. Okay, we use S boxes. So as we know that we have a 4 into 4 matrix of the input, means for each total to store total 128 bits, we are using a 4 into 4 matrix. So the each cell will store 8 bits. Okay, now out of that 8 bits, the first 4 bit will be used to generate the row numbers, that will be equal to 2 that will become 2:4, that is total 16. So 0 to 15 will be the row numbers, and second 4 bits of the 8 bits will be used to generate column numbers. So 0 to 15 will be the column again. So we can see here we'll have a matrix of 16 to 16 as a substitution box or sub box. Okay, now the output will be again 8 bits out of this process, means from first cell of the input will use 8 bit, that will be processed using a S box, and will generate the output of 8 bits again. So this is the process. Okay, that process can be seen here. We have initial bytes, state array, and output bytes. Okay, implementation of the S box. So how to implement? See, as we have mentioned in earlier slide, that we have a array of 4 into 4. Sorry, we have matrix of 4 into 4 cells. Okay, so in that matrix each cell have the data 8 bits. So out of that, first 4 will be used to find out the rows. So we can see that here X is used to find out the row numbers, and Y is used to find out the column numbers. Okay, so through this we'll get the row number and column number. So we'll get a address of one cell, that is we can see here in this diagram. Okay, and that value will be placed on the same position in the output matrix as a output. Okay, so this is the input matrix and this is the output matrix, and for this we are using the S box. Okay, so this is the whole process. We can take an example of X box. X box is given here for the substitution process. Okay, suppose we have a value, that is for first block. Suppose we have value, can take an example. Here's the example. Suppose we have the first cell value, that is 8 bit number, that is 8 bit number. So the value of the first cell is 00100011. So this is the value of the first cell. So as we know that we are going to use first 4 bit to generate row numbers. So the row number will be 2, and second or last 4 bits will be used to generate column number. So the column number will be 3. So in this way the number of rows, row number is 2 and column number is 3. So we can check the value from the S box. So the row number is 2 and column number is 3. So the value will be 26. So the result to be stored in the first cell will be 26. Okay, so this is the result of the first cell. In this way we have that again it will become it will be right in the form of binary data. So the 26 will be written as 0010, that is 2, and 0110, that is 6, in the form of bits. Okay, 8 bits. So we'll write this data in the form of 8 bits again. Okay, and this will be stored in the first cell of the output. So this is actually the idea of the S box. This whole process will be applied on all 0 to 15 cells of the input, and output will be stored in the output matrix. Okay, now the second process is shift row, or we can also call it circular right shift. Okay, in this operation what we have to do, we have to shift the data in the rows. But how, on what basis we have to shift the data? So as we know that we have number of rows. The number of rows are 4, suppose. So if we have 4 rows, so the row number will be R0 to R4, or 0 to 3. Okay, R0 to R3, or 0 to 3. So in 0th row, or row number 0, 0 bits will be shifted. In first row, the one row will be 1 bit will be shipped. In second row, 2 bits will be shipped. In third row, 3 bits will be shipped. Okay, so this is the idea behind the shift row or circular row shift. We can easily understand this process by using the diagram. Okay, in the diagram we can see we are not shifting any data in the S0 row. So this is the S0, means 0th row. 0th row, that is S00, S01, S02 and S03. So we are not going to shift any data in this row. So input and output is same. Okay, now in this in the first row, that is S0, 10, 11, 12 and 13, we are going to shift 1 bit towards the right and towards the right. Okay, 1 bit towards the right. So we can see the diagram here. What we are doing, we are shifting 1 bit toward the right. So the from this cell to this cell. Okay, so the output will be yes 11, 12, 13 and 10. Here what we are doing, only shifting 1 bit. Now in second row we are shifting 2 bits. So 2 bits will be shipped here, see, and the diagram is easily representing all these things. So after shifting 2 bits, so output will be S22, S23, S20 and S21. We are shifting 2 bits towards right direction, and in the last or third row we are going to shift 3 bits. So result will be this. Okay, so this is the row shift operation, and this operation is performed on the output of the previous stage. Okay, now the output of the row shift operation will be applied as input to the mix column operation. Now what is mix column operation, we can see. Okay, in the mix column operation, what we are going to do, the output of the shift row will be used as an input to the mix column. Now this is a 4 into 4 matrix. Again, each column is considering as a 0 to third, 0 to means W0 to W3 words. Okay, now what we are going to do, we will perform a multiplication operation here. So that is also known as the multiplication round. So here what we are going to do, we will perform a multiplication of 4 into 4 matrix, in between 4 into 4 matrix to 1 into 4 bit matrix, and output will be 1 into 4 matrix. That whole process can be understood using the diagram given on the next page. Okay, this process, mix column process, is applied from 0th round to 9th round. but in the 10th round it is not applied. Okay, means in the last round it will not get applied. Okay, so the process of the mixed column can be easily understood from the diagram. See, we have a matrix that is a 4 into 4 matrix, and we have to apply this matrix. We have to multiply each of the column of this matrix with this predefined matrix, that is again a 4 into 4 matrix. So what we are going to do, we are going to multiply one word. This is one word. This is what? S0 02 S0 02 S30. Okay, this is one word. So what we are going to do, we will multiply first word with this whole matrix. Matlab, means what we are going to do, we'll multiply 1 into 4 matrix with the 4 into 4 matrix. So we'll get the again output of 1 into 4 matrix. That output will be stored here in the first column of the output matrix. Okay, so this is the process. So first we are multiplying W0 word into the into this whole matrix, and after multiplication we'll get the output. That output will be stored here. Now we'll apply second word with the this matrix, and we'll save the output in the second. Now in the third step we will store the output in third column, and in last we'll store the output in the last column. So this is the mixed column operation. Now the output of the mixed column operation, this will be applied to the add round key. Now this is the add round key again, where we will apply the next key, that will be the K1. Okay, K1, or we can say that we'll use the next 4 sub keys. Okay, so in previous round we used W0 to W3 sub keys. So in this round, in this stage, at this stage we'll use W1 to W4 to W7 sub key. Okay, so the what is add round key actually? Here in this process we XOR the input with the 4 sub keys. 4 sub keys means output of the previous round, that is mixed round output, will be XOR with the next words. So output of the previous round will be used as an input, that is a 4 into 4 matrix. Now that 4 into 4 matrix will be XOR with the 4 words of the 4 words means our 4 sub keys. So the output will be stored in the output matrix. So we can see the example. The first row, first column will be XOR with the first word, and output will be stored here. Second row, second column will be XOR with the second word, and output will be stored in the second column. Again, third column of the input will be XOR with third column or third word, and output will be XOR with, output will be stored here in the third column. Similarly, fourth column will be XOR with W means next word, and output will be stored here in the last one, in the last column. So this is the add round key. Okay, after this round, after this process, the first round will become completed. Okay, so after this is the first round. Here we applied 4 processes. First one is the sub bytes, then shift row, then mixed column, and the last one is that add round key. Okay, so these 4 steps we perform in each round, and we have total 10 rounds. So after, we can see this diagram again. After these 10 rounds will get the output, that is 16 bytes or 128 bits ciphertext. Okay, so this was the advanced encryption standard algorithm. Thank you so much. Now the review questions. So I hope you all will be able to solve these all questions after this lecture. So first question is, what is the purpose of the state array? How is this yes box constructed? Briefly describe the sub bytes. Briefly describe the shift row. How many bytes in the state are affected by shift row? Briefly describe mixed column, and briefly describe the add round queue. So these were some questions that you guys have to solve, and after this, thank you so much.